Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cheer Chat. So, let me just tell you what I've been doing for the past, I don't know, 30 minutes, trying to get my life together. You guys know I moved almost literally a month ago, which is crazy. Hi. Um, I'm super excited, not settled, et cetera, et cetera. Trying to figure out my freaking Wi Fi situation. I'm downstairs because Seattle is apparently having a heat wave, and I never complain about the heat. I love the heat. I love dry heat. I'm on YouTube land and I don't have a good setup. You guys, can I just grow up one day and act like a real, professional? This is about as ratchet of a setup as I think I've ever put together. I just cannot. So, anyway, trying to figure out how to keep myself cool. This is like radiant floor, so it's supposed to be cooler down here. It's just so hot. I'm so sorry in advance. I'm hot and I had to get my setup. I hope nothing glitches and freezes and whatever. I'm gonna drink big gulps of this. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna run out of rosé. But just to take the edge off, I am just wanting to chat with you guys because I told you I would be back. I'm really proud of myself that I did not disappear for a couple months. Um, but I was catching up on, I know it's like auditions. Why are you talking about auditions? They happened 50 million years ago, but NBA auditions are happening right now. And I just kind of peeped that there are a lot of NFL cheerleader, like making the team, making the squad, little video series going on, like for quite a few teams. And, we don't have the DCC making the team anymore. I got some stuff to say about that later. But, I just kind of realized that a lot of teams are stepping up their recaps of auditions. And so I OD'd and watched the Top Cats Unfinished Business. I watched the Detroit Lions had a whole little making the cheerleaders. Okay, maybe the Rosé's kicking in. Making the team video. They just have one so far, unless I missed it. The Raiderettes, wow, their series is probably like A1 in terms of just production quality and value. And then, Los Angeles Rams cheerleaders also have like a Making the Squad little series on the news. So I just thought, let me watch all of these and see what's going on. And of course, with the NBA auditions, there's a lot to call out. I didn't catch up on everything, but I wanted to hear from you guys. I did a poll just to kind of see how you guys have been doing with these auditions because this stuff is looking really intense, like extremely. I mean, we already went through the pandemic and going virtual. I think you guys are all used to that for the earlier rounds, but we're back in person. And, from these recaps that I've been watching, like the production value and the cameras in your face, I just feel like it's just like leveling up to a whole nother level. And I was like sick for y'all, clutching my pearls. I put a poll out. Let's just talk about that first. Thank you all for joining. Sorry if I sweat. I'm hot. I don't know if anybody else is hot. You guys have been having preseason football games. I hope you are handling the heat. Oh, anyway, another gulp. Hold on. Okay, so the poll asked, what's been the hardest part or the most difficult part of auditions for you guys? And I posted the results, but in case you didn't see, over half of you guys, 51%, said the freestyle / tricks is the most difficult part. Interviews was next with 21%. Technique, like all the across the floor combos that they pretty much weed and seed people out, like round one, or not round one, but early on in the process, got 15%. And then choreography, maybe the speed of learning or just how hard the choreography is, got 13%. And then I told you guys to hit me up if I forgot something. You can only put 4 choices on Instagram's poll. It's not my fault. But there were some really big things that obviously I missed by not putting them as choices. Some people wrote in saying kind of like controlling your nerves and having the right mental mindset going into auditions. And we're going to talk about that because that's really important, but it's like, how do you work on that all year long? And how do you really build up that mental stamina to stay out of your head and just stay in the moment and focus and connect the dots between your mind and the choreo and your body actually executing it? It's a lot. And so that probably would have been number one if it was on the list in hindsight. Somebody wrote in with saying something to the effect of just like when you're a vet, I mean, we all know that the vet expectations are like skyrocketing through the roof. They expect you to be not a whole new individual, but basically bigger, better, stronger, faster, whatever that Kanye song was. And so you just have a lot riding on you. And then you also have to be like hostess with the mostest. You have to like be welcoming and like all these rookies coming up to you, or not even rookies, like hopefuls asking you questions. They've been stalking you online. They're like wanting you to, engage. And I mean, it's a very stressful time, but you actually have to put on that hat of being that ambassador to people who are trying to take your, not your spot, but you know what I'm saying? It's still a competition, right? And so, like, you're trying to focus on yourself, worry about yourself, and you can't because you have to also be a good person. I'm just okay. The rose is kicking in. Of course, you're a good person, but sometimes you really are dealing with things yourself. You're having pressure. Maybe you had a hard day at work. Maybe you're like dealing with personal stuff, and you have to like be on in a different way. Vets do at auditions. So whew, that's a big one too. What else? Did someone just also mention just kind of like staying confident about like just yourself in general, right? Like whether it's your body, just like how well you've prepared, like really just kind of like keeping that confidence level high, taking in feedback to the extent you get it during the auditions process and not letting it like rattle you. Um, so let's talk about some of that because we've got a bunch of audition prep classes, and you can read books and you can listen to podcasts like this one, but it is hard to like build your mindset up. And so I really wanted, this is participation points. Join me, put something in the little chat, anything, because I want to know how you guys actually manage it, because I feel like the stakes are higher. I feel like the expectations are greater. I feel like they're asking you guys to do some unthinkable things at times. The audition process can span over either days or weeks, and it's a lot. And so I don't have any like advice or listen to episodes 1 through 100 and however many. I'm sure it's sprinkled in there. We got advice from directors, just other people talking about their audition experiences. So I won't try to like recap that here, but I was just really, when I was watching the recap videos for auditions, I was just starting to feel more like not concerned about y'all, but just like, how are you guys managing this? Like, how are you controlling your nerves? How are you staying out of your head? And how do you prepare to do that? Like, I hope you've been talking to yourself far long before the audition process begins, because it is a conversation. Like, me personally, like the way that I try to stay out of my head was just, it's a lot of positive self talk. Like, before I step in the room, like, you literally have to be drunk off yourself in terms of like, I don't want to say like in love with yourself. Okay, I'm gonna drink. Like, you just have to be feeling yourself, you have to be feeling your outfit, you have to be feeling your hair, and you have to just be feeling the whole vibe of like how hard you worked, and you just kind of like soak all that in. This is what I would do anyway. Soak all of that in, and it just would make me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like playing some music that makes me feel good. And honestly, like, people put freestyle and like tricks as like the toughest thing. Do you guys ever just like, you probably don't get a chance to as much, but do you guys ever just put on your favorite song or music and just dance freely? Like, not choreo, not something that's like rehearsed, but just kind of like move your body in a way that actually feels good. Whether that's like, maybe it's choreo from a dance class that would never work on a field, but you just actually, like, for me, dancing in a mirror, next level. You can't tell me nothing. That's just how hi, Ray. Oh my goodness. Every time. So Ray, okay, I do that all the time. I love that, right? Because it just gets your body moving. It shakes nerves. It makes you do things with your body that make you feel yourself. Like, I think that is a great way to kind of like remind yourself that you can dance. Like, because sometimes we get like, so I won't say robotic, but like you're programming your body to do things that others want you to do, like the choreographers or the directors, in terms of the style. And sometimes you need to just like express yourself and get that shit off your chest, and move to your favorite song, whether you're getting okay, let me see what it makes me feel human and grounded. Yes, Ray, because we're not programmed little dancing machines. You know what I'm saying? And you can join me anytime because otherwise we are so trained. It feels robotic. See, you're on my wavelength. Ray, you can just hop up on this and we could talk. Are you kidding me right now? I miss you so much. We can just talk. We can just talk. Get up on here. It might take me 5 seconds to figure it out in YouTube land. You'll just have to, I don't know, I'll upload it later. But Ray, you could totally join me. Don't pressure. We will do that again anytime you want to. But yes, I think that's something that's important because especially when you're like drilling in these routines, you're kind of like going through whatever the steps are in the actual process. And like you sometimes need to just let go and let loose and remember why you love dancing in the first place. And I just think letting that out is like the wiggles or the jiggles or whatever you want to call it. But it might just free your mind to like just give yourself that hug. Like, no, you can move, you can dance. Look at how you look in the mirror. Look at, just how far you've come. And it probably makes it a lot easier for you to freestyle. It won't be like a complete mind freeze because you've probably been playing around dancing and you did a move or two that you're like, oh shoot, that's cute. And I'm going to do that if I have to freestyle. I'm just throwing random ass thoughts out there. I'm realizing I did not pour enough rosé. Maybe I drank too much before I started, but whatever. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to hear from you guys, like what you do to shake those nerves. Do you have to like block people out and focus and not talk to people? Like, what is that mindset stuff really about? Because there's a lot of like positive growth mindset. Like, I'm sure there's a podcast and a half, like a million of them that talk about the right mindset. And hopefully you guys are taking in the information. I'm not saying it sarcastically, but I just think unless you're really practicing what they are preaching, it's not going to kick in when you really need it to. So I hope that you guys are feeding your minds with all of the things that will help to control those nerves. Okay. I miss you so much, but you were hitting everything on the head. And trust me, if I could, I would have definitely already been requested to join you. Well, the door is always open for anybody randomly too. Like, come on, like just get up on here and we can shoot this stuff, talk about your audition experience. Ray, we will connect. Like, you guys have been obsessed with Ray, former Baltimore Ravens cheerleader, one of the best to do it. And I miss you and love you. And hopefully I'm hitting it on the head. You know me, I'm just be talking and I'm hot and I'm running out of rosé. Okay, anyway, I just want to encourage people, and maybe you guys just need to talk to other people who are in it, even talking to people who aren't in it, because truthfully, when I think back, like it was my friends that would hype me up. Like they probably didn't know what I danced like or really just knew exactly what I was going through. But I think your hype squad is really what keeps you like believing in yourself again and going for it. I know some people are superstitious and don't like to tell anybody anything when they audition, but just get you a cheerleading squad. We all are cheerleaders for everybody else. You need your own personal cheerleading squad, and that will hopefully hype you up and keep you like in the moment and believing in yourself and not getting all flustered in the head. Okay, so let's talk about these little audition recaps and audition series that I've been looking at. I'm probably going to be all over the place, flipping back and forth between NFL and NBA, but I'm running out of rosé, so we'll blame it on that. Okay. Well, since I put it in the story, and since we're talking about what was in the top of the poll results, okay, please listen back to my interview with Chrissia Long, the senior entertainment director for the Brooklynettes. She discussed the auditions process for the Brooklynettes. I remember my jaw dropping and just like shaking in my boots, so to speak, listening to like how intense their process is. And they've been posting a lot of footage around their auditions. And I don't know if you guys really know what the battle royale is, but you are literally, you'll do an audition and it'll be two people not going up against each other, but yes, performing for the judges at the same time. Their battle royale is like literally like, no, you battle. Not like, oh my God, what are those dance movies? Not like that per se, where people are crumping and da-da-da-da, but like it is a for real fierce, just throw down. Like I think people were not necessarily like clowning each other, but you're about to best that other person, period, point blank in the story. I think it's like your personality has to be strong AF and you have to come ready to let next roll and just let it be that. But I think it's all in fun. But she loves that part of the audition. I remember her saying I think that was her favorite part. But if you guys look at their page, like the across the floor combinations, not only are they giving you technique, but it's just so much personality and swag that I think you have to carry as you're doing these across the floor combinations. I posted in the story the athletic combo that they do. I don't even know what the rounds are, like how you make it from one round to the next to be doing all this stuff. But the athletic combo was choreographed by one of their co captains, Kristen. I believe this is her 7th year. She's the head coach of LIU's dance team. I think that's Long Island University. She's dope. She's been on the team for quite some time. Seems to have a very strong hip hop background. And I hope you guys watched the whole video. People's comments were killing me. Just kind of like, okay, I was with it at first, and then it just kept going and kept going and kept going. Um, Head springs, and it was a lot going on. I can't even name all the tricks, but it's a lot for the Brooklyn Nets auditions process, and I don't know of anything tougher in the NBA that I can think of. Y'all have to let me know. Um, but I just think it has to be the toughest competition that I've seen footage of. And so shout out to everybody who survived that. If you want to join or share your 2 cents of what that experience was like for you, all the energy in the room. I mean, this is it's like dance, and I just imagine people walking into that maybe not knowing how to prepare for that, and for those who've done it multiple times and just showed their stuff, like I'm dying to hear like somebody's account. And Kristen says she might join us and talk us through the choreography for that piece, and kind of maybe even some tips on like how do you go about preparing to learn a combo like that, like what dance classes are pumping in all of these tricks so that you guys can train and actually learn how to do it, and be working on it all year long. So hopefully we will connect so that we can hear from her, because that's an action packed ass routine. And I posted it and you guys can look at it. Okay. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Raiderettes making the 2023-24 squad or team or whatever they call the actual series. I know the last episode was called Sink or Swim. And so you guys, like I said, the production value on this is like, psh, like this is the attention they give like, ESPN documentaries or series or whatever. It's like really, really great production quality. They did pause a little too long. You know how like, okay, they have a little interview and obviously they're catching you in a sentimental moment. They needed to cut a couple times a little. They lingered a little long, and I think I just felt awkward, but it was really raw. And you were catching, just people reminiscing on their experiences and their nerves, and having to relive that probably was just like, ah. So I just felt like I was like clutching my pearls the whole time watching this, because in this particular episode, where's episode 3, by the way? I don't know what the cadence is, but I was expecting to watch another one this week before I went live, so I was a little disappointed. But the swink or swim. Okay. Why when I struggle do I take another gulp of rosé? I don't know, but here we go. In the sink or swim episode, they went into the deliberation room, you guys, and we never really know what goes on in there. And I think when they do these audition recaps, they always say the same thing, like, the talent is way better than anything they've seen any other year. It's so hard to choose. Everybody could make the team. But the way that they actually captured the conversations around the deliberations for this particular episode, I was just like hella engaged and engrossed in it, because I wanted to get you guys' thoughts. Like, you have these judging panels that obviously can't just be like the director and the coaches and people who are the closest to the team during the season, because they love you guys. They battle for you. They know your whole origin story. They spent ample amount of time with you, and so it might be hard for them to be objective. But I don't know who all the people were that were in the deliberations room, but I just remember hearing somebody kind of say something to the effect of like, where we're going, like it's next level, and you guys are soft because you have a soft spot for them, but like, you can't just, we're going somewhere to the next level, and you can't like just ride on that, essentially. I mean, I'm doing a terrible paraphrasing, but it made me think about like, in terms of the judges' input when they are external to the team, like how much weight should it have, I guess, for people who are maybe objective but extremely harsh because they don't have all that behind the scenes knowledge of what kind of teammate you are, you know, how hard you work. I mean, maybe they know that this wasn't your best audition, but they know you're better than that. And here you have people on the judging panel that are like, snip, snip, I'm not feeling that person or whatever. And it just really like, man, it just made me like nervous. Like I think you need that kind of balance on a judging panel, but who really knows best what it takes to be a part of the team under your leadership? Like, should the directors really have like the final say, or should they be swayed by people who are just, I won't say outsiders, they're affiliated with the organization in some manner, but how much sway should they have if they really are kind of like wanting to snip snip a vet? Because I'll tell you what happened. Well, I'm not going to tell you what happened. You go watch it. But in this particular episode, y'all know, or you should know if you've been watching, that I adore, absolutely adore Danielle from the Raiderettes. She is, I think, an incredible performer, an amazing human being, just a wonderful spirit. Like, I love her. And I couldn't believe that in this particular episode, they were kind of like speaking to her audition journey with the Raiderettes, which had been very up and down. And I'll spare you all the details. Definitely watch the episode. But I got pretty emotional because I knew the outcome. So I don't know why I was tripping, but like I knew she made the team. But hearing about the deliberations where they were kind of going back and forth about my girl, I was just like, whoa, what are we doing? And it made me really think about how torturous that process must be for directors and coaches. You know, I know that not everybody makes it, vets get cut. I understand. I look at things from all angles and I understand that how much it sucks for a veteran, how much it probably sucks for the coaches as well. But just to hear clips of like how they have to actually go to bat and argue with people who have a difference of opinion really had me just like tripping. And I would love, love, love to hear more, obviously, about those kind of behind the scenes conversations. But this particular episode of the Raiderettes thing was like the realest that I had seen of them actually capturing how those conversations probably go down. And I'm just really glad. Of course, she made the team. I didn't have to revolt or anything, but I mean, it's a lot. And it just can be very cutthroat when you are hearing input from people who don't have that connection to the dancers who are currently on the team. But shout out to, the Raiderettes coaching staff that basically did ride pretty hard for Danielle. And ultimately she was the last number called. I mean, all the stress and all the drama, I don't know if they did that on purpose or what for the TV cameras, but very well put together series. I'm excited to see what else is next. But I was all up in it and I'm like ready for episode 3. So get it out there. Okay. Next, Top Cats. Oh, somebody's saying something in YouTube land. Yes, to be a fly on the wall in that room. That judge was bringing shade. So you watched it. Like, okay. Damn it. I don't know who that judge was, but I kind of felt like, because we can all be extra. I kind of felt like the judge was being a little like, for the cameras, ever so slightly. She's probably going to come for me. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. But like, it was just kind of like, it was just a little, it had a little, like, this is not Bravo, right? Like our experience going through auditions, it's real. We love this team. We put our lives on the line, everything else, like all of the things, right? And so it just felt a little extra cutthroaty for no reason. Probably a former alum, living in the past. I didn't say that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not putting you out there. But I think you're so right. The former alum that are part of the judging panels are probably super opinionated. Like if I ever judge Seahawks auditions, Lord knows I'm going to have thoughts and opinions. And probably not so much going hard for vets, but I just know what standard I have and what I would want to see. And I know what I find entertaining and what I think represents the brand from my perspective. So like, I'm gonna have opinions, you know what I mean? But like, I just felt like it was just a little Bravo kind of channel Slight shade. I will just say that. But you know, there's a lot going on in Vegas. It's like they're going to be hosting the Super Bowl, and like, P.S. I learned that they're not hosting Pro Bowl. It's going back to Florida. So that's news. You know, I've been going to Pro Bowl every year. I'm all off topic, but whatever. But back to Vegas. Okay, so anyway, it's a big year for the squad. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of visibility. I feel like the Raiderettes are the it squad. So maybe they do feel like we got to level up, level up, level. All this level up stuff, which I get. I mean, you know, why not be better than you were the year before and whatnot? But it just feels a little extreme. Okay, we got some comments. Okay, I was so happy her coach stood up for her like that. That was so sincere, but it was interesting to see the behind the scenes. See, you guys are watching. Give me the freaking feedback. Those cameras in the room, augmented reality. Yay to Orlando 2024. Yeah, no, I think it's, of course, they're cutting things together and, you know, doing it for the production quality. But yes, I love that they did capture the coach going in for Danielle. I think she literally said, I would get in front of a bus um, for her. I mean, she really spoke up to just all the things Danielle does is Raiderette just in the community. And it really made me feel good because sometimes you guys, there's 30 plus people on teams in the NFL, you know, 20 plus people on teams in the NBA. And I know it's easy as a vet to feel like your contribution to the team may not really be like noted or appreciated. And so, you know, not all the time, but maybe you just don't really know who's really rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? And who's got your back in that way. And I mean, if I were in Danielle's shoes and watching that, I mean, I would have, it was just really inspiring to know that, you know, yes, sometimes coaches do just ride for you because of what you put out. And I think we all dedicate ourselves to these teams and organizations. And so you're all worthy of that. Definitely all worthy of that. And, you know, but to see it in actual, yes, it's clipped together, but to see it actually take place, it was definitely kind of like, okay, you know, like your contributions can go, what can mean something to a coach where they really do fight for you to stay part of the team. So great episode. Again, ready for episode number 3. Thanks for people who are chiming in, who watched it too. Okay, so are you guys watching the Top Cats Unfinished Business? These are a lot of like local TV channels. I think the Los Angeles Rams cheerleaders also has like some local news affiliate that's following them. So not to say that it's like they just need to get their stuff online because I think there was another episode that aired yesterday that's not online yet. So I was like, whatever. The last episode ended on this huge like cliffhanger because one of the girls actually got hurt during learning this routine. Okay, so gosh dang, her name is so beautiful and I don't want to butcher it. Chandra Lay. I don't know. Sorry if I messed it up. The director for Top Cats. She was saying that she definitely tries to challenge people every year or, you know, just make things harder, harder, harder. And so her choreography for the next round, oh my gosh, hi, Matt. What you call it? I'm all distracted. Okay. She was just saying that she really went hard on the choreography and that she was a little nervous teaching it, but she just gave the disclaimer that she was about to really push them. She had some move in there. It was like rotating splits where she did a split, she rolled forward, rotated like I think a full 360, some madness. And I think somebody snapped their dang on the hamstring. Did I tell you guys that that happened to me? The first time I auditioned for Seahawks, like I was in finals. It wasn't no crazy move like that, but I definitely snapped my hamstring like a tree trunk. It was horrible. Doing a kick line. And so anyway, the point is somebody got injured. It was like everybody picking her up, carrying her off. It sounded traumatic. And so and girl and oh I'm like and girl but anyway the next episode like the whole trailer the coach was talking about how she felt like she really to some extent like let the team slide a little bit, like, you know, she really felt like she needed to step it up a notch because I think like at some point during the season people, you know how you kind of sort of fall off for football for football probably like when it starts getting cold out and you're just like, you know, your physical fitness probably starts to, you know what I mean? Like you kind of like start you could fall off a little bit. And I think she was kind of alluding to that. And, she really was going to, like, I guess, be focusing on physical endurance. And I know there are some teams that look like they try to kill you guys. That's what I'm saying. How are you guys doing with these auditions? Like, sometimes they have like a fitness portion where they work you out and they freaking make you run all over the stadium. I think Miami does that. Who else have I seen running around stadiums? The Titans seem like they're all up in this gym. Like, just not that, I mean, you need to work out. I sound really anti, but like, it just seems like, dang, you're kind of trying to kill him. Okay. Anyway, apparently she's going to try to kill him next episode. I'm excited to watch that one. And just getting to see the dancers more because, again, it is edited and whatnot, but the interviews with the dancers, talking about their season, talking about their preparation, and how they approach auditions is always nice because, and we all know how to behave for cameras. So, I'm not acting like it's just totally raw and uncut, but it was really interesting because these are kind of like slept on teams. Like, I was surprised to see the Detroit Lions cheerleaders had a series out. They seemed like they had like an across the floor a little bit, learned some choreography. They also let the girls freestyle. And again, people are struggling with that freestyle portion. I'm sure everybody choreographs a little bit for their freestyle, right? But like, again, like Ray and I were talking about earlier, just kind of, you gotta like love dancing beyond some choreography, I think, to just really get into the freestyle mindset. Not that I'm some freestyle expert, trust, but that is when I would find what I thought I was going to be doing. And just when you're in the moment, like at games, when you can actually like just do what you want to do because there's music on and maybe they didn't call the 8 count yet and you could just kind of do that was when I was living. Okay, off topic. Detroit Lions cheerleaders. I just wanted to say that, like, I think this was definitely a DCC thing. You know how like they would have it where they would put them on the field and they would look at them on the big screen. They would actually go way into the stands and watch them perform. I feel like that's probably like the best way to judge like how somebody performs on game day, how they look out there, probably on the court too. Like, let me see you on the jumbotron, like not just zoomed in on you, but like, do you stand out in a big old stadium in a big arena, and can you carry me where I want to watch you, where the camera doesn't want to move away from you? To me, that would be like, duh. You know what I'm saying? Because either you soak up that light and you just really just turn into a whole nother person and you can't take your eyes off of me, or you don't. It's like you either have star quality or you just are regular and you kind of fade into the 50-yard line or something. Okay. I'm gonna drink again. Okay. Anyway, I like that the Detroit Lions cheerleaders process. They said that they just want everybody to have fun and relax, but they kind of just had them performing out on the field and got to just, they're talking, not shit, but they're talking and kind of deliberating and going back and forth. But I just feel like they're either going to take up that space and really show you that they have what it takes, or they're going to blend and melt into the turf or the court. So maybe that should be for the finals, at least, not a stage, not a production, but like, let me see you on the field. And that's my 2 cents. I said it. Okay. That made me think of the DCC though. And I was just like, okay, I'm over it. Where the hell are they? Where's the old social media person? Where's the behind the scenes? We don't need the show, but I just feel like, what happened? Does somebody know? Like, where? They still have a cute social media presence, don't get me wrong, but they have posts announcing the team. I just feel like they just went on, they might as well have muted their account. Like, when you go online, it sucks when you see like the CMT channel or even their channel, and there's like, it's just nothing for a year, like literally nothing, no content. I just think that it's kind of like taking a step down in the promotion department. And I do not for the life of me understand why. And I just, of course, everybody's still going to love them, but I feel like their social media game was like top notch. And it just seems like they switched. What's going on over there? Somebody just DM me and tell me. I won't say anything if I can't, but I just kind of feel like they're just not giving anything in terms of like content anymore. Okay, I said it. Congratulations to everybody who made the team, obviously, but we didn't get to see shit, so I don't really know. I'm not as invested. That's what it is. And it's just weird because everybody would know who made that team because you would just be engrossed in the stories, and there ain't no stories. Okay, I'm done fussing. Let's talk Cleveland Cavaliers. Are y'all ready? Okay, so it's almost been 5 years, you guys, in October. So way back in the day, when Makiba first started her rants, Cleveland Cavaliers were one of the five or seven, I think it was, six or seven NBA teams that went through that whole rebranding to go co-ed and just move as far away from, I don't even know what they did with that team. Cleveland Cavalier girls used to be this squad. They scrapped that and went with the powerhouse dance team. It was co-ed. It was very, how would I describe the Cleveland powerhouse dance team? Well, they when they made this change, they also like had dancing dads. They had like all kind, like 50 different, I'm exaggerating, but a bunch of different entertainment teams that they launched at the same time. It was just so confusing and actually so like, it was like one of these. What's that? That's so old, but whatever. It's one of my favorites. I just didn't understand what they were going for. It was very clear that they didn't want an all female dance team. But guess what's back? And I know I said it, one of my episodes when I was ranting was that, watch you guys, we're going to do this whole, not to say that co ed is not here to stay, but I feel like what some of these dance teams have done in their rebranding and the way that they manage that, it's called change management, you guys, in a professional setting. And the change management and the way that they went about the marketing and the image, because it was so unclear what they were going for, it just didn't land. Okay, I'm so sorry. I said it. I said it. I said it. I'm officially almost out of rosé and I'm really upset. I'm almost done though, so I won't talk forever. The Cavs powerhouse dance teams, 50-11 teams, girl. Yes, there were too many of them doing all of this. Cavs powerhouse dance team was one of them. But apparently they announced last month that they were, having auditions, looking for empowered, sophisticated, athletic, passionate, team driven performers to represent the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they had this picture of five women looking fierce, no smiles. They said the team will feature various dynamic dance styles that include heels, jazz, and hip hop. So clearly, we're going back to plan A, right? Like plan B did not work out, or whatever this, it just, and so I'm curious because I didn't have time to look if when they made this announcement, if people went up in arms. I don't know if Cleveland fans were like, what is this Cavs powerhouse dance team? I'm not feeling it. Like, bring the girls back. Like, I don't know what happened. And this, again, this is not to pit the genders against each other. I just think that the image, the vibe they were going for with the powerhouse dance team wasn't clear. It just looked mixed up and I don't even know why. That's how it read to me when I watched some of the choreography. I feel like Samuel L. Jackson. Say crew again. Okay, you guys, if you don't know, Tara is like the most hilarious person. I'm coming to Dallas, P.S. I just need to know when I'm coming because I want to see the sidekick dancers. And of course, I'm going to finally see DCC since I can't learn anything from their Instagram anymore. And I can't wait to go to dinner with you and be fabulous. Okay, I digress. Back to the Cavs going back to an all-female team. They have selected their squad, all women. They had a selection video that they posted. They kind of scared the crap out of people with the mascot and like confetti guns going off. I would have screamed and embarrassed myself. But I just think it's really interesting. And I know I said it that everything comes full circle at some point, right? Like you kind of go way to one side because this is what was happening for the history lesson for those of you who didn't know. It was just kind of like they were pitting like the all-female dance teams, like they weren't wholesome enough. They wanted family friendly, this, that, and the third. I'm sure if I dig back, or actually you can listen back to some episodes, I'm pretty sure I talked shit about it. But it was just the way that they made it seem like what the women were doing was so and now we're going to be doing this thing over here. But now they're back to square one. So like, here we go. Okay. Um, yes, I'm coming to you, Tara. We will see. Okay, so there's a comment. As a Clevelander, okay, we've got a Clevelander in the house, you guys. I knew this, but they didn't. Okay, and a Cavs fan. The powerhouse dance team wasn't bad, but they didn't stand out. From the uniforms to the dance routines, it just needed improvement. And I think that's what it was. It was just kind of like this, and I keep saying it, and again, it's just kind of like, it's not that it has to be this glamorous, like bling me to death with rhinestones. It's just, I just felt like the presence of like I am somebody definitely just kind of like, it just got muted. It just fell to the wayside, and it didn't translate. I'm sorry, like the superhero factor that you guys bring when you're in uniform, and I don't know, the image consultation with that brand shift was just not very well thought out. And there's other teams that I feel the same way about. And if they go back to square one, I think it'll be for the better, or at least rethink it, or put some real thought behind it, because I think that was what was it was such a knee-jerk reaction at the time that you could tell was just a domino effect, and team after team after team after team was making the same decision, and literally like verbatim quotes wise we're saying the same thing of like, we're going something family friendly, this athletic, like this whole, I don't know what they were trying to create, but it wasn't clear and it didn't land, and here we go back to square one. I'm excited about that. I wonder what you guys think. Okay, finish the last one, Jose. I will never do that again. I try not to look like a lush with my glass all up to here, but whatever. I won't do that again. So the hype with like the Nick City Dancers, and obviously the hype that's been there for the Brooklynettes, I sometimes wonder if it's like they're seeing that like what we're really into. And I kind of want to attribute just how fabulous the okay, did I say it? I'm saying it. When I think of like Miami Heat dancers, when I think of Brooklynettes, when I think of a lot of the dance teams that are okay, I'm probably gonna piss some people off. I don't know. I think all female dance teams are amazing. Period. I really do. I think it's not that the co-ed ones aren't. It's just I happen to think that the all female dance teams were holding it down in a way. This was like a space that essentially we created for ourselves, and they've always been doing the damn thing in my book. I'm just going to stand by that. And I do think um, the fact that it's kind of trending back to allowing women to be feminine and sexy and dancing in heels and not hip hopping it all the damn time. I mean, just let us be what we were and continue to elevate and continue to like, whatever, whatever. But if you're going to make that drastic of a change, like just make it make sense. Does that make sense? Okay, I took a class with Giannis Marshall, and I loved his choreography. But every time he'd like try to explain some part of the song and what he was doing in the choreography, he's like, "Does that make sense?" in his French accent, and I loved him for it. Okay, that's all I have to say about Cavs. It's no shade, and I hope I'm not coming off that way. I just feel like I'm not surprised that this came full circle. Go back and listen to some podcasts. I know I predicted it, and I was right. And I just think it'll be interesting to see what they do this year. I'm watching, and I hope they get some good feedback about it. I hope they, if you're going to create a team that's co-ed and that does have whatever focus the Cavs powerhouse dance team offered, then great. But if the fans weren't feeling it, they weren't, okay, they weren't feeling it. To some extent, they just weren't feeling it. And I'm excited for the fans to embrace the new Cavs dance team. I'm probably going to get in trouble, guys. Okay, all right, last team. Los Angeles Rams cheerleaders, the Making the Squad. I think this is very much tradition. They go to some, I don't want to say Calabasas High School. I'm making that shit up, but they go to some high school in California. I might have made that up, or I might be right. Who knows? Okay, there's a comment that I missed. They had Cavs girls / scream teams, their stunt team, drumline, mini groups. They had the dancing dads. I remember that because I was a little annoyed by that. Which is nothing wrong with dancing dads, but it was just kind of like you get rid of anyway. I know I went off about it extensively. Whatever season that was, it was probably season 2 or 3, but go back and listen. It just was handled poorly. That's all, I think. Okay. back to the Rams and me making up high schools that they actually hold their auditions at. But they have, like I said, a local news team that covers their auditions process. You're, hearing individually from different dancers that are going through the process. Newsflash on some people who retired that I clearly might have been on my little hiatus and didn't realize. Napoleon, I did not know you retired. So seeing you and what's the other girl's name? Blonde with the like kind of like crinkly, cute hair. I know her name and it's gonna kill me. Anyway, just people that I was like, oh, they're helping with auditions this year. They're gone. And anyway, the point is, newsflash. Okay, Napoleon, I didn't know. And you obviously made your contribution to that team and paved the way for a lot of the male dancers that are on the squad right now. So cheers to you. Okay. They had like the across the floor technique. And I think it's good if you're really gonna weed people out this way. What do you guys think? Should the across the floor happen round one, or do you let them freestyle, see what they can do, and then make them do the across the floor? Um, oh, you're in LA this weekend. Oh, to see SoFi Stadium. I want to see that stadium too. It's so beautiful. They're on my list. I think I want to go try to see the Seahawks play them. Okay. Anyway, I was just curious because obviously technique was also pretty high up there on the poll. Oh, I guess it was third. But when do you guys really think that technique should come into play? Is it like a round one, you either have a calypso or you don't? You know, how important is that across the floor? What technique really should be captured? Like, what should you be making sure, like, at bare minimum, that people know how to do? I should put that in a poll. Like, what are the elements that for pro cheer, pro dance, like, what is the technique? Can we just all agree, like, what that technique round should look like so that people can just know that that's the standard? I mean, from your perspective, you guys are out there doing it. What technique should be like, if you don't know how to do this, then you're not ready, or these are the skills that you should master for technique. So everybody's not freaking out about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you should be able to learn a combo that has like the technique elements in there, but you should maybe have some guidance. Put it on the website. You need to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G to basically survive our technique round. I thought it was interesting because the rounds, like, they will have somebody basically come walk up to you. What was that girl's name? It's gonna drive me crazy. They'll come walk up to you immediately after the cross the floor while you're huffing and puffing or standing there, and they will be like, "I'm so sorry, this year's not your year. Thank you so much." Or they'll say, "Congratulations, you made it to the next round." Similar, Brooklynettes would just kind of hand out their numbers to people. They would be kind of like standing there watching people come towards them. Um, oh, somebody commented freestyle, then across the floor. Okay, well, hold on. Let me read properly. Freestyle, then across the floor for the semi-final round. Is that what you're saying? From there, you get the idea on what to be prepared for during this season across the floor. Okay, I'm with you, girl. Freestyle first, like, because if you're not gonna put on your website like what technique that you expect them to have bare minimum, in my mind, you're just wasting everybody's time if you're gonna cut them first round for not having whatever freestyle that you think they should have. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let them, like, I think people will prepare differently if they absolutely know from a technique perspective, this is stuff we do on the court, this is stuff we do on the floor. You better know it. It's like a test. I'm telling you the answers. You got to know A, B, C, and D, and E, and F, and G. And then it's like, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. And then, but like, if I just think give people a chance to actually bring, it's like a gift. You're performing, you're bringing what you feel that you've prepared all goddamn year for. And if you don't even get to do it because you got cut just for the technique round, I just think because you didn't know what they expected of you, it's kind of sucky. Maybe you really need to go to these audition prep classes for them to tell you, but I just think it should be common knowledge. Let's just all agree. So people are writing in about what they think it should be. So let me catch up on comments. Okay, kicks. Hey, Jazz. Kicks, double turn, calypso, bare minimum. Okay. Lakers do that too. Okay. I mean, I think it's fair. At this point, we could just all agree. Name them. You know what I'm saying? Period. You need to know that. That's it. College/high school teams list the skills required for auditions. Pro teams should start doing it too. Interesting. Why do the high school and the college teams sometimes have it more together than we do? I don't know, but it would just be an efficient way to run auditions. I think if they just communicated it. Um, yeah, just or maybe everybody should just assume. Let's just all agree that these are the things that we are from now on. Put some tricks up in there too. What tricks do you absolutely need to know how to do these days because they're putting it up in your audition material, you guys? Does everybody need to have a kip up and a head spring? Are they the same thing? I don't know, but whatever. Put it in the chat. I just think it's getting real in these streets and the audition prep process, all the lights, camera, action around auditions. Like, I really, my heart goes out to you guys because it is a lot to prepare for. And learning choreography quickly and having to turn it around. I mean, there's so much pressure. Again, I was literally like stressed watching audition recap episodes, but I just wanted to talk about them with you guys and kind of share my 2 cents on them. I love that you guys are watching them too. Let's maybe I'll post about them when I see that they will be available so y'all can watch and then we can talk again because I find it interesting. And if I'm missing any and there's more out there, please let me know. But I just wanted to talk to you guys. It's been almost an hour. Next time I'll pour more rosé. Let me know what else is on your mind, though. I mean, I don't have a set schedule for going live for Cheer Chat. I'm getting to know my house and my Wi-Fi, and as soon as this heat wave's over, I will try to move back to my original location. But I'm just kind of like winging it. So let me know if you guys have certain things that are on your mind, things that you want me to talk about. I'm happy to address it. Um, Risk getting in trouble. Well, I don't get in trouble. I say what I have to say, and if people don't like it, then they just don't like it. But I mean it all from a loving place. It's just my opinion, my 2 cents. But I am excited to just be back regularly chatting with you guys. Again, tell me what's on your mind. I'll try to put more polls out there. I think we have reached consensus. Double turns, kicks, leaps, probably, even though, I mean, whatever. Okay, leaps. What else do we say? Calypso. Who thinks the calypso is like a little overrated? Like, I'm kind of over it. It's just so predictable. It's not like a move that surprises you. It's just like, oh, here we go with the, you know what I mean? Okay. The rose is kicking it. It's fine. It's a classic move. I don't know. I just think it's just like you just throw it in choreography because you feel like you need to or something. But it's like, who else does calypsos? Like, I don't know, whatever. Again, maybe I'm going back to like, not that I think pro dance should be like commercial dance per se. Maybe there shouldn't be a difference between the two enough. But I just don't think it's so like woo, 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 woo. You know what I mean? I just think choreographers, okay, I'm really talking shit now. And I'm not a choreographer. I'm not trained in dance. Okay, so just take this with a grain of salt. But what if you were really challenged to come up with really creative, super cute choreography that didn't have like the technique elements and didn't have the tricks? What do you really bring as a choreographer without all that? Because it almost seems like choreographers can kind of hide behind throwing in these little things because they think everybody should be doing it. But okay, that's the end of my TED talk. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm just saying calypso, schlypso. Okay, it's just like I get it, but they, unless people, okay, when people do the calypsos and their freaking back is arched so beautifully that their head is damn near touching their foot, then I'm impressed. But otherwise, it seems like everybody just like calypsos their way through it, and it's just like it's not that impressive to me watching all the time. Is all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm saying. Okay, the end. Before I really get in trouble. Any other comments? I'm talking lots of shiznit, and maybe I didn't need any more rosé in my cup. Okay, that's it for now. You guys, for the record, when I went live talking about choreography pros, just know that I butchered Saida's name from Denver Nuggets dancers, and I beat myself up so bad. I butchered Anna's name, my BFF choreographer. What the hell? It was just like, I can't even blame the rosé. I don't even know what I can say. Just know that I don't mean it in the moment. I'm just, and then, you know, but I know people's names. It just drove me nuts. I'm asking for forgiveness publicly. That is not their names. And I just, you know, just want to say that I stand corrected. I corrected myself. I knew instantly when I said it, I was wrong and it was too late to kind of like, but here I am groveling. Okay, it looks like there's a lot going on still, and I will catch up and make sure that we are talking about more of the NBA auditions that have taken place and whatever else is on y'all's minds. Let me know. Send me a DM if I missed something and you want to chime in on the poll. Um, yeah, hit me up and I will chat about it next time. Good night. You guys take care, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Okay, can I even end my stream?